Testing 1, 2, 3. Let's see here. What is going on, folks? What is going on? Oh, wow. Here we go. Sound works. Very good. Very good. Chris James, be careful. Brian, what is going on, sir? Glad to have you here. Josh, hello. Happy Sunday to you too. Jared, what is going on, bro? Glad to have you here. I definitely was late getting on here tonight. Kara and I, my wife and I, we did some grub hubbing after church, and in 1 hour we made $40 in 1 hour, so not too bad of a little deal there. Just putting around town, hanging out, but her back is hurting, and so she wanted me to crack her back, so I just walked on her back, which is taking your life in your own hands at that point. I mean, wow. Huh?
What do you mean take my life in my own hands?
I mean, I could have killed you.
Well, that's all right. You turn off the TV, that light thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you said Jared's online? See,
Yeah.
I'm going to put some heat on my back.
Yeah, do it.
Let me see, where's Jared at?
He's right there. You said, hey.
Shack.
Chuck, what's going on? Just stopped for the night in Texas. How are you? I'm doing well. Like I said, we just got home a little late tonight. Made some little cash in an hour and having a good day, having a good Sunday church. And we no, I don't want anything from Dairy Queen. Thank you. I'm sure. You do what you got to do. We went through Colossians 3. If you would like to read through it. Colossians 3:12 through 17. Pretty sobering, thoughtful passage in Scripture, but had a great time at church. Had more of a Bible study type service, whatever you want to call it. But I had a great time. Dennis, what is going on, sir? Glad to have you here. Chris James, don't know where I'm at, though. Oh, my word. Man, my eyes have been watering like it's nobody's business. I feel like it's like spring or something. I'm like crying. Or they're really dry or something's going on. Craig, good evening. Just got back from, how about you? Oh, wow. Gotcha, Craig. Jared, have you heard of Amazon Flex? Alex was telling me about it to make some extra cash on the side, something about delivering in the local area. Yeah, I've heard of that. Amazon Flex, just literally picking up Amazon packages in your own personal vehicle and then driving. I know we do have people that I've seen who dropped off Amazon packages for us at our home, and they were not in a Amazon van or anything like that. It was a straight, their personal car, sedan, whatever. So I've heard about that, and I think it was pretty decently hourly pay, but yeah, worth looking into, I would assume, as far as like side stuff. Robert, did you hear the Full House TV dad Bob Saget died said about him and Betty White. Yeah, Robert, I got the notification when we were dropping off some food, and right as my wife was about to go run the food, I got the notification. I was like, by the way, Bob Saget just died. And she's like, what? So definitely watched a lot of Full House growing up. Watched a lot of America's Funniest Home Videos. I think it was what it was called, what he hosted. Watched a ton of those. Always cracked me up. It was always funny hosting that. But yeah, just heard about that. TJ, hello everyone from Mesa, Arizona. I got you, TJ. Glad to have you here. Jared, since I know you have other side hustle, yes. I need to count how many. What do I do? I need to have so RV transport, of course. Dumpster business. Well, I'm gonna group Grubhub, DoorDash, and a thing called Roadie, an app where you deliver things, not necessarily food, for a company or whatever. We just stopped. So how is that? Stepfather-in-law, my wife's mom's husband, doing pest control stuff. So we kind of stopped that underneath his authority, legally for that. I may pick that up down the road, probably will, but just not right now as I'm building up the dumpsters. So that's sort of on the side, but pest control. What else do I do? Well, technically I do make some money from like YouTube, Amazon affiliate stuff. If you any link in my videos that's like to Amazon, if you click them and then buy anything at all, whether it's that product or not, I'll get like 2%, 3%, maybe 5% at the most, something like that. So that's a way you can support me if you really wanted to, but without going out of your way. But I make some money from that, very, very little, but every bit little helps. So I guess YouTube, Amazon. So that's two different kind of ways. YouTube, Amazon. So that's 5 right now. And then I'll do like small little things on Craigslist, haul stuff for somebody local, or do little odd jobs. What else? I know there's like at least a few more. So we're at least at 5-ish right now. But anyways, yeah. Nothing wrong with working the side hustles and building stuff up. So Lynn, what's going on? Glad to have you. Let's load Chris James. Chris James, Highway 35 North in West Virginia is very bumpy. Ew. Gotcha. How was everybody's weekend? Hopefully you are safe wherever you're at. For just so you know, kind of where I'm at with loads. Synergy right now pretty much only has Canada runs as well as West Coast runs. And that's been the case for a week. And I'm probably going to make a video on that soon just to put my thoughts out there for this whole situation. It happens every year to a certain degree, some more than others at different times. But at the point where, there's tons and tons of loads that are in our yards right now. But the problem is they need to get every single load out of there. But when there's, a large number going out west, and when there is, this is nothing new. When there is a large number of loads going out west from Indiana, and they're on the same type of deadline as any other load going short, distance near Indiana or east. But when there's so many storms and issues out west and crazy dangerous situations, drivers, of course, don't want to take those loads because it's probably dangerous. You might get stuck for a few days or longer. So that makes sense to me. Which means the company, the transport company, is now in a deeper pickle because they've got to not only find loads for everything, but specifically these older, there's the out west loads are now getting older and older and older. Meanwhile, people are wanting to take loads that are shorter or not as far as out west, in less dangerous areas, whatever you want to say, between wind and snow, ice, pile-ups, crazy stuff going on, dangerous things. It kind of gets it to into a choke point kind of a situation where they only what happens, and I'm sure this is to a certain degree what happens at every company, or at least if it hasn't happened yet, it will, where a company will hold off from putting on loads that are going all over the place, and they'll leave what's on the load board. Basically, the only one, I'm not saying this the way I want to, the only thing left on the load boards that they're showing to us for right now, or has been for a little bit of time now, are the loads going out west. I've seen this time and time again at Synergy, and I'm sure, again, to a certain degree, other companies do this or have some type of issue like this where at certain times of the year or certain seasons where literally it's harder to get certain loads to certain regions of the country for whatever reason, and more drivers are wanting to take other options. So at the end of the day, the transport companies have to get these loads delivered. Like, they have the same type of deadline as all these other ones. So basically, they're forced to, filter down what they actually show on the load board to be the ones, going out west or Canada type of loads. So that makes a lot of drivers upset. This is one of the major times of the year where drivers are quitting one company and going to the next because they heard from so-and-so who heard from so-and-so who heard from so-and-so that, this company over here has loads going everywhere. So all the ship jumping happens all the time, but more right now, as well as in July. These two times, but so yeah, planning on making a video about that, maybe hopefully better in a more clear, thoughtful way. But we're in the thick of it right now. At least at Synergy, we've got over 100 and something loads, and they're all pretty much going to Canada and West Coast. And a lot of drivers either don't have their passport, don't want to get their passport, don't want to go out far west. It's dangerous with all the weather going on. Like, I don't blame them, but I also can understand and don't blame, on the other side of things, the transport company that says, listen, we're not going to put all these good loads or more convenient loads for drivers on until we get these others squared away, because they have got to be delivered. Like, they've got to find a way. So I get it, but that can turn into basically, someone mentioned it in a previous video, we're not force dispatched. Like, no one's going to say, Daniel, you're taking this load to wherever. But we run into very, very rarely, we run into a situation where we're not force dispatched, but yet if I want to continue bringing in money next week or whenever, there may only be loads to those places I really don't want to go. And it's almost a waiting game. Who can survive longer? Can the transport company survive longer than you can without you taking a load? So can you wait them out until you get the loads in the regions or areas you want or feel safe to go, whatever, in the crazy winter time? Can you wait longer than they can before they spill the beans and show all of the loads, later on. That's really what it comes down to, in my opinion. I've asked a lot of questions to people, talked to people in the office, other drivers. It happens on a somewhat regular basis. They've got to get all the loads out, but yet if we don't want to, it can feel as if it's forced dispatch because you got to still make the money. But they're only showing these loads right now because they've got to get them pushed out. So definitely understand that, but that can be frustrating for probably all parties included. So I get it. Just trying to be thoughtful for how does this really play out for the driver and for the transport company. So let me scroll back here. Jared, do you still have the snowplow with your new truck? Yes, Jared. So, great thing on that. So, you potentially could use both of my trucks that have plows on them to make money that way. So far in Lafayette, where I live, we had snow like a couple days and it melted like immediately. So, not enough to. I think they put salt down, but not enough to be able to make any money. Also, I do need to get some of the wiring figured out to make sure everything is fully functional on both trucks and plows. If I were to have, I've got a couple buddies available to plow with me if I needed them to. So if it snows hard, then we can probably make some money, but we'll see. So another side hustle, I guess, temporarily. Lynn, I'm picking up tomorrow afternoon and heading to Florida. Wow. I hate you. I'm just kidding. Man, Dennis, what do you know about those FEMA runs that Synergy just sent out those notices about? Dennis, I saw the first or second email about that. I haven't looked into it because I'm probably not going to be doing that. If anybody else has any thoughts on that or has been able to take some of those runs, I think the earliest you could get the load was this last Friday. I think the email said. I did want to stay in the know about that, but yeah, if anybody's already, if you work for Synergy and you've already grabbed some of those FEMA units, let us know how that whole process is going for you. I've done the FEMA units before when they were up brand new units up in Synergy's yard, as well as I have done a few that I picked up in a random back of the middle of nowhere, no man's land area, wherever they can stash them for a certain amount of time, and then pull them out of there. For the most part, my overall feeling of doing FEMA units, if they're used but not new from the factory, which is simply a new FEMA unit from the factory, in picking it up in Synergy's yard and hauling it to wherever. The only difference from a brand new unit to a unit like that for FEMA is wherever you're dropping it off at, it's a lot less regulated. Like, as in you pull in, the guy's like, yeah, go park it back there. Make sure you don't get too close. Da, 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 da. And you're like, okay. Either, they have you back it in and they really, really, really want you to. They're almost kind of threatening to, or they just say, just drop it anywhere. Turning the paperwork up at the guy at the gate. And it's like a temporary storage area as they're finding, structuring how they're going to deploy everything. But so I've done that as well, but that's just slightly more of a headache doing the newer FEMA units to random locations. But a used FEMA unit going. I'm assuming, I think that's what they had, units all over several states going to places down south. Man, you could show up to the middle of nowhere and there's supposed to be one guy who opens up a gate and lets you into the back lot to grab this one unit, which is exactly what happened to me. Lights weren't working. Tire was flat. Like, I had to go through the whole headache, all of those things. So that's almost, to me, like a sketchy backhaul. Like, is this really going to be legit? I don't know. That's been my experience. Maybe you've had different, but that's my thoughts on the FEMA stuff. Robert, this past weekend I moved 83 trailers for a local RV dealer for an upcoming RV show setup. I am tired, dude. Oh, wow. 83. You are not messing around. Hopefully that was an incredible payday for you. Wow. Very good. Very good. Craig, I just got back from Utah last night. Horrible weather all the way there and back. Oh, man, that's what I'm hearing. Winds in Iowa, Nebraska, snow in Colorado, and then black ice in Illinois and Indiana yesterday. I was exhausted. Man, the amount of, like, nerves that you just go, it's, man, I don't know how to describe it. You're physically fatigued driving through crazy weather. You may not really feel like you did much or you drove that many more miles than you normally do, but driving through bad weather with a camper behind it, even empty, I guess, but specific, especially with a camper behind it, those times when I finally hit the bed, I'm just like, dude, I don't even know if the alarm's set or not. I don't even care. I'm going to wake up when I wake up because I don't want to be sleepy tomorrow and then get into the same problem tomorrow. So, if you go through crazy weather, please, 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 it is not worth it. Get your rest at the end of the night. If you safely got off the road, please do what you got to do and get your rest, because the same thing could happen tomorrow. And you're then going, dude, I'm already exhausted at the end of the day, and you're trying to navigate just to get off the road safely. And it's so not worth it. Please be careful. If you're going out west and going crazy places, please just think twice. Transport Bandits, hello, from Maine. Hey, been there. Back in the USA. Let's go. Glad to have you back here, back home. Very good. Awesome. Yeah, I think I've delivered one or two to a couple of dealerships in Bangor, Maine, and there really isn't a whole lot of places to go. Like, I know there's a couple of gas stations, but I think they even shut down early, like in the afternoon or something. So hopefully you're bedded down somewhere safe, but glad to have you back home. Wow. I saw on Instagram, and I think on the Facebook groups, you were like ahead of a storm and behind a storm in like every direction possible. So wow, glad you're safe. Holy cow. Dennis, Josh, Bingerman, I go there all the time from Pennsylvania. Gotcha. Let me try to actually scroll through these here on the thing. Craig, I saw a Synergy driver got hit by a semi in a wave transport with a flipped over trailer yesterday. Oh no. On the ice rink in eastern Illinois and western Indiana. Oh man. Wow. Dan, I live in Phoenix and preparing to start driving. The limit is how far I have to drive to Indiana or Oregon. That's a long haul without pay. Dan, the thing is, and I'm probably going to make a video about this too, but the idea is I live in Indiana, so I'm right here by the manufacturers, basically a couple hours away. So for me, I really don't have that much deadhead to grab the load. But then let's say I go drop off in Phoenix, and then my deadheads we're going to have the same amount of deadhead, but it's just at a different point in the circle in the process. So yours just happens to be more on the front end of things, which means, and I really am going to be making a video about it, but which means when you finish up your pay for the previous load that you've just completed, bringing one back to Phoenix or some other place, wherever, you're going to need to hold your money back for the next trip. So how am I saying this? Basically holding money back from your previous trip to cover the cost of fuel for the next trip. And then when you get to your, you pick up your load, you'll probably get the half up front, and then the cycle continues on and on. So initially, the first load you ever do, or going up to get going to orientation or whatnot, that's going to be several $100s. Driving empty just to get there. But just start that process at the end of your trip. Always make sure you have enough money to get to Indiana, at least. I'm assuming that's going to be further away than Oregon. But that's what I would do. We're all running the same amount of deadhead miles. Well, I guess depending on where you're coming from or whatever, but having the ability to have that money held back before that next load would be the thing for you on that side of it. Dennis, I love the state. Oh, let me just click the button here. Love the state of Maine. Crazy colors in fall in Maine. Wow. So many crazy colors. The trees turn. It's incredible. Love to drive through there during the fall season. Done that a couple times during that actual season in Maine. Transport Minutes. Hi to Daniel, Josh, Len, Chris, Dennis, and everyone. Chris James, hey bandits. Dan, hey bandits. Let's see. Craig, when I told dispatch I wanted the Utah load, there were only Utah, Washington, and Oregon loads on the board. I'm sure there were others on the lot, but that's all they were showing. Yeah, Craig, I just got done talking through that, but they got to make sure every unit goes out, which means since every trailer has a deadline, they've got to push out those old ones, and they'll just stop putting on the newer ones until the old ones go out that are loads and areas where we probably don't want to go as drivers right now with weather. So definitely understand that. Hello, bandits from Len. Josh, hello, bandits. John, can you set your own rate maybe for West Coast now, and that they playing hardball for their rate. John, yeah, the question is, and this honestly, the longer these loads, and this goes for any time of the year, the longer these loads sit on the load board and aren't delivered and aren't picked up, the more and more desperate the transport company gets, any company. And so they have more and more incentive as time goes on to put more and more money on those loads, of course. So if nobody takes these loads, they're going to have to. I mean, what are they going to do? The office people take the loads there? No. They're going to have to, in any company, they're going to have to increase the pay until it's worth it for some crazy driver out there, maybe that's you, to haul in some of this dicey weather. So that's just kind of how that goes. For better or for worse, they've got to be delivered in a certain amount of time, and maybe the manufacturers or the dealerships are understanding for this time of the year. But at the end of the day, not putting on the newer loads that are all other regions of the country is a tactic to a certain degree to try to minimize the loss that they're going to experience by having to put more and more money on those loads that nobody wants to take. So, Transport Bandits. Yes, there are a lot more loads more yards on the yard than on the load board. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I would venture between 4, 7, and Topeka. Last time I was there, I would say 400 or 500 loads just chilling. And the load board hasn't moved too much, which I also completely understand why it hasn't. Because it's I only hear, and we just heard it in the from somebody who mentioned it, we only have crazy storms going on out there, crazy weather. Whether the manufacturer likes it, the transport company likes it, or the dealership likes it, it's not worth risking our lives. Maybe you can sneak through there and be safe about it if it's even possible. I don't even know. It's just not worth it. In a lot of different situations. I'm not saying across the board, but man, like you'll get it when you get it. You want it to not arrive because it got destroyed on the side of the road, or do you want it to be late and actually be in one piece? But that's what you get. Dan, anyone figure out how to make money on the way to yard or heading home? Gotcha. For backhauls and stuff. Some companies have that more. Synergy doesn't have that too much. I think in 6 years now, almost 6 years, in 1 month, or no, less than a month, in 20 days or something like that, it'll be 6 years for me. And in 6 years, I've had 7 or 8 backhauls. Now, I'm not going out crazy west, and then that's where we have a lot more backhauls. Well, I'll say we have some backhauls. South and east, there's really not that much, at least that I see when I pop on there. Every once in a while, I'll check on there. But that's the $1 million ticket right there, Dan. Tough to answer. If anybody has any thoughts, please go right ahead. Dennis, I need to thank everyone for all their prayers for Emily. God granted your request. Her surgery went very smoothly, awesome, with no complications. She's quite sore and tired, but otherwise doing well. Dennis, that is so awesome to hear. I know you sent us a group text to be praying, but that is so awesome to hear. And prayer works. God cares about the small things. He cares about the little things. And so happy that everything went well. Transport Bandits, we asked our dispatcher, load rates are non-negotiable. Yeah. And the thing is, they're not negotiable until nobody still hasn't taken any loads. And then they're like, oh dear. Well, we got to bump up the incentive to make sure we pump these things out. If guaranteed, if they wanted to, which they probably don't, if they put the rates for some of those crazy West Coast loads that are going into the thick of the storms and craziness going on, if they bumped it up to $2 a mile, $2.50, $3 a mile, and further cut out their own profit in each load that they're making on, those loads would be picked up like tomorrow. I 100% believe there's drivers out there who would absolutely go for those higher rates. It's just really at the pain point that drivers, in my opinion, the pain point of the transport company versus the pain point of the driver. Who taps out first, essentially? It becomes that kind of a situation. So, yeah. Let's see. Lynn, very cool. Dennis. Chris James, heading to Kansas tomorrow. Gotcha. Dennis, I saw the emails but didn't see any of the load on the load board. Gotcha. I didn't notice anything on the load board either. I think I did peek Thursday, maybe Friday too, for that. That might have been Thursday. Yeah, the only thing I heard was at the earliest was Friday. So maybe things changed and they didn't update us. I don't know about those FEMA units. Transport bandits. Dennis, awesome. Happy for Emily. Daniel, I had a question from a fellow transporter. Okay. Nature Nut Photos, what's going on? Dennis, that's good news. Absolutely. Dennis, I heard that the used FEMA trailers could have tires that are very old and prone to blowouts. Has anyone else heard of that? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nothing blew out on the used FEMA units that I've done. But there was one already flat that I had to change in the middle of, and where was I? Like Nebraska or some crazy place. It was a place where you would least expect a FEMA unit. Where was that? It was really, really dusty. That's all I know. In the middle of nowhere, nothing was alive for miles, besides me and some dude who rolled up in a 3-wheeled pickup truck. Like, what's going on here, dude? Bandits, if you get a load with 16,000 pounds, non-CDL, do you need to get oversized permits for every state? I don't know the answer to that. Non-CDL, so that would have to be 10,000 GVWR for the truck to make it still non-CDL. To hit 26K, do you need oversized permits for every state? If anybody else knows, please respond to that. I don't want to give an answer I really don't know about. Maybe if Casey's here, fair winds, come to us, answer questions. Maybe he's got a lot more experience with that. Dan, why can I pull a 20,000 pound trailer for personal, but can't pull over 16 for commercial? Well, that's a great question. I know I've heard a few people. I know that's absolutely the case. I think it's simply because for hire. That's what it comes down to a certain degree. If you are profiting in any way and it's a legit business, I know simply for insurance wise, that's definitely going to be depending on your CDL or your GCWR for your truck and the trailer combined. If you were to be in an accident and your license and your GCWR do not match up with what you're capable of doing legally, and it was for hire, it wasn't for personal use, that's going to be a major problem. It's a whole other different type of insurance. Strictly from an insurance side of things, I know that's going to be a major deal. So the main difference being if it's for hire, there's a higher expectation for being legal to actually pull those things. So if you have your CDLA, you could pull more than 16,000. But if you're non-CDL, you're going to be limited to your GCWR. So that's 16K at a 10,000 GVWR for the truck. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But just wanted to put that thought in there. Transport Bandits. It is icy here now in Maine. Oh, dear. There's quite a bit of hills in Maine as well. So please be safe. We have no load now, but we parked it. Gotcha. I gotcha. Let's see. Transport Bandits. Yes, Daniel. We were in a bomb cyclone on the ferry dock in Newfoundland. A winter hurricane. It was wicked, but we enjoyed it. Oh my word. I'm sure there's a video, or there will be a video. I can't wait to see that. Oh my word. I'm glad you survived the bomb cyclone. Oh my word. That sounds like that's got to be some type of movie title or some just absolute outrageous thing. Oh my word. Dennis, hold on, pause. Did for wave you on here, Tim? Okay. Sending out the Batman beacon there. BTU trucks. 180 Maine, great old fashioned truck stop. Make sure to get a slice of pie. Nice. I did stop somewhere. It was either in Maine or where was that? Not Vermont. Was that maybe Massachusetts? I can't remember. There was one truck stop close to, I don't know, 20 minutes away, 15 minutes away from Bangor, Maine. Excellent food. It was not a pilot or a big truck stop. Man, I wish I remember where that was. I think that was in Maine. Could be off on that. Transport minutes. Dan, I know, right? It's because we have to comply with DOT because we are commercial drivers. Everyday yahoos can drive anything. Yeah. For hire versus personal use. If you want to knock yourself out and be out on the road doing that, go for it, I guess, with the crazy higher weight. But for hire, that's the deal breaker. I guess probably because the thinking behind that all is because if it's for hire, there's more incentive to abuse that possibility of hauling stuff, because you're wanting to make more and more money. So putting limitations to kind of curb that potential danger of, along with all the other DOT rules. I can understand most of them, but for hire being commercial is going to shut things down pretty good. They're there. Very cool. Chuck, what to do when both truck stops are completely full at the exit and I'm out of hours? Oh, Chuck. Oh, dude. Wow. Oh, dear. I've parked in some pretty sketchy places. I'm not gonna lie. That may or may not have been a true parking spot. Do so safely, whatever you do. I'm not telling you what to do, but oh dear. Hopefully, go under 5 miles if you have an ELD or something. Also, I do know Weekend Trucking does it when he runs through weather and crazy stuff going on, but seeking shelter, there's up to 2 hours worth of drive time you can legally do. I don't know all the details on that because I really haven't had to ever do that. Maybe once or twice. A couple of years ago, at least. I called in and talked to the compliance, and I can't remember what they said to do for that, for the logbook, because you're going to be illegal technically on the logbook. But if you just put seeking shelter, or I can't remember what exactly the little name has to be, but if you can't park anywhere, you aren't able to actually bed down and stop. You can't just stop in the middle of the road. So some version of seeking shelter, I think, is what you would need to do. Go to the next mile marker exit or something, or just find some creative ways to park. BTU trucks. I lived in Maine for 30 years, just moved to Florida. Wow. Stationed at Loring Air Force Base and then moved to southern Maine. Wow, gotcha. And Maine to Florida, that's got to be a pretty big difference there. Wow. Transport bandits, wish they were all like that again. Make sure you stop in at Kittery Trading Post before you leave Maine. Kittery Trading Post, that sounds familiar. I'm going to look that up. That really does sound familiar. I don't know if I've been there. I'm going to type that in. John, I am crazy. Very good, John. Where are the wings and burgers? Yeah, last week we got a little wild. The wife brought in honey barbecue, boned, what was it? Buffalo Wild Wing honey barbecue sauce with the bone wings, and then some like pizza little sandwiches, and then something else with that too. It was an absolute feast. I mean, just ridiculous. I was spoiled rotten. Oh my word. Oh wow. It was awesome. Not here tonight. Transport Bandits, BT trucks. Yes, that is a cool place. Bought a great tent from there years ago. Gotcha. The Bandits have been everywhere. I'm telling you, I love it. Man, BTU trucks. Chuck allows you to go to a safe haven. That's right. The seek shelter, safe haven. If out of hours, whether your safety department allows it or not, I don't know. That's another good aspect to think about. At the end of the day, you got to do something. Like, you can't just put it in park in the middle of the road. So regardless if they allow it or not, that is definitely another thing to talk through with your company about, to find out what is their policy. Maybe they have certain preferences for how far you go away from where your 11 hours stopped, or your mileage, whatever that looks like. Very good point there. Whether what they want from you, if you do run to that situation. Hopefully you don't, but definitely understand that. Dan, is there a message board we can informally reach out to other drivers to exchange of info? So Dan, if you're talking about at Synergy or at Horizon or other companies, I believe there's Facebook groups that it's not run by those companies, but it's by those drivers who drive for those companies. There's also Facebook groups for everybody and their brother. So if you have not already joined some Facebook groups, there's probably like 10 of them now. Maybe even more. I don't even know. I watch and see a few things on there from time to time. But it's usually some people screaming and yelling at each other for no reason. But occasionally there's actually some really helpful stuff on there. People talking about things, asking questions, people actually answering questions and not being a complete jerk about it, which is incredible. Yeah, Facebook groups all the way, tons of them. Go pop into it's probably all the same people and all the different groups. So I don't know. I know there's thousands of drivers from all companies all over the place. From Indiana or whatever. So lots of helpful information, lots of angry people. It's something else to see, but there's more kind of community stuff there over on Facebook. BTU Transport is my ex-wife. Has worked there since 1993. Wow, that's when I was born. Wow. I used to be maintenance department manager there. Wow. Gotcha. Downloads. FYI, you will have to fill out the Arrive Can app now to get into Canada and attach your passport and vaccination. Gotcha, bandits. Yeah, more more hoops to kind of go through if you're wanting to hit those Canada loads. I will be uploading a video tonight showing a step-by-step guide to filling out the Arrive Can app out. Gotcha. Very good. The cookie, what is going on? Oh, night all. Okay, well, thank you for hopping in here, and I guess you're heading out. Have a good one. This is the first comment I've seen, so I didn't know if you said anything else, but yeah. Oh, night cookie. Dan, join the RV transport groups on Facebook. We made a lot of friends, and there's constant info about all things transport on there. Yes. For the most part, there really is good information, but there's usually a little bit of sass thrown in with all of it. BTU, good night, cookie. Let's see. Good night. Good night I'm from Brazil. Make more videos about trucks. Your videos are great. Hey, really appreciate that. That's crazy that you're able to see my stuff on here. Really cool. Thank you so much. Man. Len, if the trailer has an awning on it, Arizona says it's an oversized permit. I've never heard anything specifically about the awning putting it over into an oversized permit, but or maybe they just skipped over that. But Craig, oh man, speaking of CDLA, Daniel, when we doing this? The deadline is looming. Yes. Oh man, I more recently I have not had the time to run through the pre-trip stuff. I'm gonna do what I can, but I don't know. At this point, I'm gonna have to have like a memorization for me is very challenging with how my mind works. I can sit there and force myself, and then 5 minutes later, I'm like, wait, what? So I don't know if I've got Alzheimer's already, but it is very tough to do that. So we'll see. I'm trying. I'm going to continue to try, but man, trying to get it in before the deadline. Brian, from the outside looking in, it seems high commercial insurance is worse than high fuel costs. Unfortunately, the cost of insurance will jump again this year. As far as insurance for well, I'm at what, like $230 a month. So I started out paying a lot more. I have more coverage now, I think, than I did. When I no, definitely not. As far as my stated value, but I can definitely see insurance prices going up. Dennis, your personal truck and trailers also have GCWR combined. If you pull heavier than that and have a wreck, your insurance, the lawyers, and the police will have their way with you. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better right there. Just hit the whole thing. Jared, how many times have you been pulled over on the road? And what is the craziest story you can tell about being on the road? Oh, dear. How many times have I been pulled over? Including stopping at a way station to get level 1? Probably... in 6 years, probably 10 times. While in my truck, I got rear-ended, so I don't know if that counts in my Ford Escape. That happened last year. But in my truck, I've probably done 7 or 8 level 1 inspections. And then I've had in Texas, East Texas. Oh, the dogs are here, which means Kara picked up the dogs from my mom's house. And she got a shake.
I mean a blizzard.
Oh, she got a blizzard.
Strawberry cheesecake.
Strawberry cheesecake blizzard. So
You broke my back.
Oh,
Kidding, no, you
I
didn't.
stepped on your back, so I told you, you take your life in your own
I'm 28
hands.
years old. I'm getting old.
Uh-huh. You're real old. Not really. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So in Texas, I got 2 on the way home empty. Both times, I think it was 2 times, I got 2 tickets in 2017. So year number 2 of being a transporter. I got 2 tickets. They've got some pretty incredible speed traps. Like, they've put a lot of work into it, and you can tell. 65 to a 35 in about, I don't know, 200-300 feet, something like that, going around a corner, and they've got bushes and a little half driveway in the middle for a cop to perfectly sit right there and get their radar right on you. So that happened both times down in Texas, different places, but same exact scenario. I mean, these little towns, they know exactly what to do. Nailed me both times. I wasn't still going 65 or whatever it was. I came down. I was in the middle of coming down. So those are two tickets that I've gotten while being out on the road, being pulled over. Craziest story I could tell you, and I think I've talked about this in maybe a live stream or two. Craziest story. Well, out on the road, there's a difference between craziest story while driving versus craziest story not driving out on the road, at a truck stop, basically. I'll share the truck stop because I think I would ramble longer for the other one. Maybe I'll make it a video, but I was in Nebraska, and I was coming home from is either Colorado or Wyoming, something like that. And this was earlier on as a driver, and I was stopped. It was late. Well, there was a football game on, so it wasn't too late, but probably 9, 10, maybe 11. I don't know. Game's still going on. My dog, Big Al, was still alive. He was at Sheltie. Just best dog in the world. Loved him. And he was with me, and he was older, but he was pretty sharp. He was just an incredible dog. But basically, I pull into this truck stop, and it was not a Maine name brand truck stop, whatever. And they've got lights all around the whole parking lot. And I didn't go to the actual semi parking because I'm empty. I don't need to. And I shouldn't at that point. So I pull into the regular parking lot. I go right underneath a light, big light on the outskirts of the whole place. I parked away from everybody else. Number one, I like to see the exit. I like to see what everybody else is doing and be away from other people. And I was completely lit up, everything. So it was great, fantastic. And so I am, at that point, I did not have my Tachta bed, my custom built mattress in my back seat. I had an air mattress with a super sketchy setup, and I'm blocking out the windows. And I had the football game on my phone, and I was playing that over the audio, the Bluetooth audio, and I was listening to the game as I'm getting stuff set up. Well, in my Ram 3500. The middle seat has the little console, little compartment in the middle that can flip up and down to be the middle seat if needed. And so that's when I was doing all that stuff. My dog, Big Al, was standing on top of that, and he was looking behind me. And so I'm at the back door of my truck, and I'm getting the bed ready to go. I'm putting the blankets and doing stuff, moving the pillows and whatever. And so, I'm getting ready to bed down. Like, I'm tired. I'm done. It's pitch dark outside. Like, I'm toast. And I've got my head down and I'm looking in between the seat and the air mattress. I'm getting stuff put together, and I look up, and my dog is staring behind me, and literally he is locked, laser locked with something behind me, and I don't hear anything. And I can't remember if if this person tapped me, or if it's been so long, I can't remember. I don't want to guess, but the guy either like tapped me on the shoulder, or I noticed it because of the dog staring. But basically, I think he might have tapped me, because just him staring wouldn't have. I don't know. I think he tapped me on my shoulder. This guy standing behind me, I'm away from everybody and everything, taps me on the shoulder. My dog is locked, staring behind me at this person, and he couldn't do a thing. I mean, he can growl and he could barely, do whatever. But I mean, he'd be an ankle biter basically, but he would go down swinging. But he'd fight the good fight with me. But so at that point, before I turned around, I'm like, so there's somebody behind me. My dog is staring at the person, ready to go to war. I don't know what this person is doing, what they have, what they want, anything. So I happen to have, let's just say it's as Fair Winds and Following Seas calls them. What is it? What does he say? He calls it a Freedom Seed deployer. We'll call it that. I can't remember exactly his verbiage on that, but he carries one of those, and I carry one of those. And so I happen to have that deployer of Freedom Seeds in between the bed and the front seat. So I grabbed my deployer and turned around, and as much of one motion a big man like me can do, being agile, I turn around and I'm facing this person who just didn't say a word, didn't announce himself, just tapped me on my shoulder. I'm like, what is going on here? I'm ready to pull the trigger of the Freedom Seed deployer at this person, because where did your mind go? This is super late at night. And once the guy realizes that the deployer is aimed at him, he's like, oh no, what's going on? I'm another transporter. I haul campers with my girlfriend, and we just got back from Stop. Please step back. Do you realize what just about happened to you? What are you doing? What do you want from me? I'm going to bed. And he was like, oh, well, I just wanted to see what's going on. You're a driver for Synergy? Dude, you didn't announce yourself. You tapped me on my back, or the dog saw it. I can't remember again. I can't how it fully started. I'm not going to guess, but I'm like, dude, what do you need? I'm like, oh, nothing. I just want to talk. Okay, I can't talk with you. I'm going to bed. I just about had a heart attack because you almost had some freedom seeds coming at you. It's not cool. Please just step back, and I don't need to know what's going on with you, but I can't handle you right now. This is not the time or the place. Please, get away. So he steps back quite a bit and keeps on talking as if I'm still awake. I just about had a heart attack. I'm coming down from the whole thing because I'm like, dude, this is this is not cool, man. And then his girlfriend comes over and she's got some little rat dogs. And when I say rat dogs, I usually joke about that. But I'm telling you, these little dogs look like little rats. And I mean, they found them in like a absolute wasteland or something. These dogs looked horrible. Both of them didn't look like they had taken a shower in like a month or two. They're wearing clothes that did not fit. And it was a little painful. What are you doing? But anyways, I continued. Once I realized that they're just messing around and they're not even worth my time, I came back to, the ground and, man, I can still like feel the like pressure of like, dude, oh my word, what is going on here? But I kept getting my truck ready to go to bed. They started talking to each other and arguing about the dogs. And I think she had both of them. I think there were two of them. They're arguing about stuff and talking and laughing and hollering, all this stuff. And I'm just like, I'm going to get in my truck. I'm going to go to bed. My deployer is here. I think they're harmless. They're just so oblivious and ignorant of anything going on around them. I don't really think they're a threat, but that was probably the scariest non-actual driving story I've got for you. I'm sure there was I've got other wild, ridiculous stories, but that weren't as involving me as much. But yeah, that was a little sketch for me. In the moment, I was like, this is it. This is happening. So anyways, like I said, that was earlier on. Not within the last 2 or 3 years for sure. Some of the details are a little foggy now, but me pulling the Freedom Seed deployer, that was, I remember that. So, oh dear. Hopefully nobody has to go through that or crazy issues happen out on the road for everybody else. But yeah. Eugene. Yeah, I'm probably way behind. 2018 Ram 3500 4-door Cummins dually. Weight is 9,000. So 16 is under the 26K non-CDL. If the truck is 10,000 or under, you are safe. Eugene, is that the GVWR or is that the tear weight? Is that your empty weight, the actual weight? A 2018 dually there's no way. A 14, a buddy of mine who has a 14 dually, that GVWR is 14. So it may weigh only 9,000 pounds, but going off of non-CDL, to be at that 26, you're going to have to be to lower the total trailer GVWR. So at 14, the highest you're going to be able to pull is 12 to be non-CDL, hitting that 26. If I'm reading that right. I've heard a lot of transporters log as off-duty after they drop the camper. our company told us we have to log those deadhead miles. What do you say? Because that would save a lot of hours. Let me reread that again just to make sure. A lot of off duty after they. Yes, that's exactly what they've told me. Back in the day, I've heard it both ways. They didn't care. You could, or maybe they cared, but it was okay. I've heard it both ways, but as of the most recent email that one of the very few emails that they even sent out, as far as communication, you either have to ask questions that you don't know that you even need to ask, or you're supposed to already know information. So that's my interpretation of any type of transport company at this point. Yeah, I'm kind of, yeah. But to answer the question, I do log all of my deadhead miles back home, back to Synergy to grab another one. Or even if I'm not, if I'm going straight home and I'm not dispatched on another one at all, I'm going to log everything on my logbook for that. That's the last thing I heard from them, so I'm going to go off of that. But in the past, I've heard both ways, back and forth, no rhyme or reason, and all of a sudden we're told you should have known this since orientation. It's always been this way. And I'm like, well, hate to break it to you, but that's not true. On your clock. Fun with Fords. I can tow around my big Texas gooseneck trailer rated for $25,900 all day long for personal use, but as soon as I accept payment for transportation, then I fall under commercial use. Gotcha. Yep. BTU trucks. That's nice. Hard exit 180 banger and 183. Holland pause. Here is me. There we go. Nice. Hopefully I got to catch up on all these comments here. Robert, transport minutes have a lobster roll for me. There you go. Fun with Fords. I finally got my RDS auxiliary tank. Nice. Delivered, so I'm one step closer to getting started. Very cool. Very good. Get that auxiliary thing going and start saving that money. Make that money back. Retain more money that you would have had to spend. There we go. Chris James, I parked in non-parking spots. Yep. Holland Pause, I think it is called No Safe Harbor. Robert, or Transport Bandits, Robert, after the bomb, Cyclone Jeff had to get a steak. Amen. Let's go. I love it. Holland Pause, hi, Tim. Safe Haven. Yeah, Safe Haven. Yes, that's it. Wait. I just think spring is only 70 days away. Let's go for RV Transport and my dumpster business. Let's go. I'm pumped for it. Todd, what companies seem to have the most California loads? Synergy has quite a few on a regular basis. I'm sure Horizon and Wave and other places do as well. Seemingly California runs, it's a constant flow. They're always pumped out from what I see in the load board. Probably more in the summertime overall, as far as the waves or the seasons of the year, on how many actually are rolling out there. But I would say most companies probably have a constant load because there's just so many trailers that go there. Bomb cyclone is a real term, meaning a hurricane only with 100-mile-an-hour winds and blowing a massive amount of snow. Holy cow. Dude. 100-mile-an-hour winds? Check me out on that. Oh, dear. Oh, Transport Minutes, Todd. Synergy almost always has California loads most of the time. Yep. I agree with that. Craig, I definitely channeled my inner fair winds and following seas this week and was within 10 minutes or less of running out my time every day. Wow. I was a little worried about having to do a weekend trucking pass. Gotcha. Chris, curious if I log back to the office, go off duty, would I have to log going home? If you're, how would that work? I have to log back to the, so you show that you got back to the office, you go off duty. I would assume if you get to the office, you log off duty at the office. If your company allows you, go on personal conveyance, go home, and then come back and then restart. I'm assuming you then need to restart your clock or whatever for starting that next cycle. Talk to your company before doing anything. Let's see here. Frank, what's going on? Hi, Daniel. Glad to be on this live from Montreal, Canada. Very good. Glad to have you here, man. I saw your last message on Instagram. I'm behind on getting back to Instagram for a lot of different reasons, but that was a long time ago, but I'm going to get back to you. I promise. Chris James, Wyoming is the same way for oversized permit. I like the video of the bed you made in the truck. Yeah. Got a couple different videos on the backseat bed or different options, as well as the final one that I kind of went with, the custom made mattress, exactly the way I wanted it. And I've got the dimensions down in the description that I went with in the company. I cannot say enough about that Tachta mattress that I've got in there. Even though I'm doing shorter loads, there are times where I do still stay overnight in my back seat. And seriously, that I've had that over a year now. I need to do a 1 year anniversary review or whatever of that. But that bed is just, it's either just as good as my bed here at home or sometimes better. If I'm really, really tired, it might be even better sleep. 100%, dude. I cannot tell you, to go from an air mattress to that. I mean, there's times where I woke up with the air mattress and I'm laying on the bed of wood below the air mattress because it got a slow leak, and I wake up with my back broken. So to go from that to a real mattress, not Tempur-Pedic, a memory foam mattress. Oh, delicious. Oh, my word. Haul and pause. If you measure the camper, it's legal, but when you add the awning with it, puts it over the legal limit. Gotcha, haul and pause. Gotcha. So anything with a awning is going to do that. Yes, Arizona counts the awning size. It may measure to make it qualify as oversized. Okay, gotcha. I've been through Arizona. It's just been a long time. Sorry. I don't remember some of these things because I've just not been out west for the oversized permits and stuff in so long. It's not really an option for me now just because I'm trying to do other things. So going on these longer runs, it's just not in my wheelhouse now. So thank you for double checking on that. Dennis, Craig, all you need to do to stop the deadline is get your CLP, learner's permit. Then you're good until the permit expires. Arkansas permits are good for a year. Some states are only 6 months. Eugene, that truck GVWR is only 9K. Are you referring to the actual weight or yes? Good question there. Transport minutes. Hey, Miss Kara. I don't know if she hears me, but we don't want anything to do with anything that's called a blizzard. Too soon, man. It's too soon. Oh, man. BTU, transport minutes, looks as if they are progressing towards your next load, therefore performing work and should log it. Gotcha. Yep. Eugene, thanks for the info. I passed it on to the transporter who asked about a 16,000-pound trailer being oversized. Okay. Dennis, Bandits, I asked Darren about logging deadhead miles. He was firm that we must log those hours. He was purposely vague about door signs and said absolutely do not stop at scales when empty. That's basically the gist that I've gotten as well. BTU trucks, yep. We always log back, but just heard that others didn't and was wondering. So thanks. Gotcha. Robert, you had a cordless whole. Yeah. Yep. Nature Nut photos. All old dogs are the best. We had to have our doggy Mopar put to sleep. Oh, man. This week, oh, he was 16. Oh, man. Nature Nut photos. I'm sorry to hear that. Big Al, he was he 15? He was 14. That's right. Kara just corrected me here. 14, and my other childhood dog was Lucy. She lasted 15 years. And man, when you go through so much life and good situations, bad situations, the highs and lows, the hills and the valleys in life, and you got these dogs that are just so loving and so giving, and hopefully don't make too much of a mess. Or steal your apple pies from McDonald's. I can't even tell you. My dog, Big Al, back in the day, he was ruthless. For an old crippled dog, I'm telling you, this old grandpa dog who is arthritis and crippled or whatever, I'm telling you, he would rise to the occasion. He would go up on the dash, which, apparently he was, I can't walk. No, it's all lies. Filthy lies. This dog would lunge across on top of the dash, reach forward and grab apple pies that I had on top, pull them back, and absolutely obliterate the boxes, destroy the apple pies, McDoubles, double cheeseburgers, fries. He was absolutely ruthless. I come back many times. I would visit Kara halfway between Ohio and home before she moved to Indiana for her own apartment. But before that, we would meet in like Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we'd go to the mall and stuff. We'd meet up before we leave or hug and kiss, whatever. In the meantime, I got some snacks on the dash, and this dog, Big Al, just assassinated these apple pies. 2 at a time. And he'd still have little chunks of it on his mouth, and he's just looking at me like, I'm like, bro, this is coming out of your paycheck. Like, come on, dude. So, anyways, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry for that rabbit trail, but man, our dogs are so precious, and that's a big blow. I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, they are babies.
Is Jake still on?
I don't know, Dennis. Yes, his log going back. Gotcha. Rob, how about Idaho loads? We've got plenty of those on the load board, I think, too. Dan, I have a 2500 short bed looking to get B&W puck slider fifth. Well, what can I get for an auxiliary tank that will fit? Also, will there be room for a toolbox at the end of the bed? Dan, my suggestion to you, before you do anything else or buy anything else, when you make it to Elkhart or Goshen area, you need to go to Dan's Hitch or what's the other name for it? Dan's Hitch, or I can't remember the other name for it. But basically, he has got everything. Any size, anything that would fit for your truck, he's got the whole thing set up. So he can make that happen for you. He's usually got the stuff in stock. That's the other thing. Some places in Northern India might be able to get you the actual stuff you want, but it's going to be on order. Dan's generally has everything in stock ready to go for you, even with COVID and everything. So that's generally the case. That's where I would go. I wouldn't waste my time trying to buy Okay, sorry about that. I don't know if anybody's still here. Yeah, our Wi-Fi just went out, so I am now live streaming off of my phone. So I'm gonna probably hop off here shortly. But yeah, go to Dan's Hitch for anything and everything for your truck setup. He's got stuff in stock. You might be able to save a little bit of money online or doing something else like that. In my opinion, it is the one-stop shop for anything and everything. Dan's Service Center. Thank you, Robert. Oh man, I'm really behind now.
Oh, one quick.
Really
important.
Bella, baby. Oh, Ryder's coming in for the kill. Rob, my company has tons of Idaho loads. Synergy has quite a few too. Yep. Blake, Synergy told me to log going home empty. Yep. Joe, what's going on? Glad to have you here. Todd, you have to log back to your next dispatch or your home. Yep. Hi, Tim. Glad that the wave driver who flipped wasn't you. Yes. Holland Pause, it was a wave driver that flipped over? Oh, dear. We got a bear here. Craig, I'm 6'5" and have real trouble sleeping in the truck just because I can't stretch my legs enough. At some point I've already got a video about it, but I may show on my review of the mattress that I have for my back seat for my bed how I actually sleep in my truck, and kind of show you. It'll be kind of a weird video showing you me in bed or whatever, but I sleep diagonally across the bed, and I put my front seats all the way forward and the backs all the way forward. So I've actually got more room. I'm 6'2", so you get 3 inches taller than me, but it works very well for me. So just throwing it out there. That should be a video in the nearish future. Noob here, trying to get started. I'm in Georgia. Is it worth it? Seems like you need to deadhead a lot to Indiana. Is that right? Yes, Joe. For most companies, you're going to be deadheading up to Indiana. I live in Indiana, so depending on where you're going, it's just at what point in the cycle of the delivery are you actually doing your deadhead. I have deadhead on the way back home to Indiana. So we all have deadhead to a certain degree. Horizon seems to be the company that has the most amount of backhauls across the country. Synergy does have some, but they're more out west. So ask around other drivers, see where, to limit the possible deadhead stuff going on. But that is definitely a bigger thing across the industry, having to deadhead. Holland Paul is Craig. I'm also 6'5", and I move my driver's seat forward all the way. Yep, the same way, and then I sleep diagonally with my feet between the driver's seat. Yeah, exactly. Pretty close to it. That sounds exactly what I do. I'm talking sleeping like a baby, especially on this new mattress. So it is possible. It really is. Man, it's our company has to log everything everywhere. The only time we don't log is when we are home and running around. That's when you log personal conveyance. Yep. Transport minutes, I sleep on the dash with Mr. Bones, so Jeff can wriggle around all he wants. I love it. Oh, man. Len, Craig, I have heard someone that's 6'8", they took the passenger seat out and built a bed front to back. I've heard of that as well. Feel like that would be, man. I'm so used to having a front passenger seat, putting stuff there. That'd be kind of weird to me, but hey, that would give you more than enough room to make that happen. Bandits. Nature photos. So sorry about Mopar. At least he knew your love. Absolutely. Dogs are a gift from God, so that we may experience true unconditional love. Man, maybe this is weird to some people, but honestly, owning a dog to me, I feel like God's taught me things from owning pets, owning dogs, specifically because you know, first of all, my dog, all my dog, I mean, even the crazy squirrel pony, she's behind me. Even the squirrel pony, her desire is to please me. I'm in charge. Kara's in charge. We're their masters, and their whole world is us. And she just grunted. I don't know if you could hear that. And I want to do good for these dogs, and I want to take care of them and love them and play with them and get him to the gym and get him out walking, which means I need to as well. So he's huffing and puffing too. I think they know I'm talking about him, but all that to say, I want to do good for these dogs, and yet God, I feel like God's taught me that, man, I'm just some guy who can't really I'm not perfect. And yet, obviously these dogs are not my children, but, putting this in perspective, like God, he's my heavenly father. And he is, not only is he better than Daniel Stanton, but he's like actually perfect. How much, if I want to do good for these dogs and love these dogs, like how good is God to me? And so just that whole line of thinking, I really, patience and just, man, there's just so many things about owning a dog that has just made me reflect on my relationship with God, and words to adding on to your thought there, just unconditional love. Love dogs. Dennis, hello, Kara. Robert, Dan Service Center. Yep. Chris James, I was ready to strangle my lab mix yesterday. Oh dear. Transport bandits, but the price for that unconditional love is that we only can have that for a relatively short amount of time in our lives. Craig, oh no, I don't see you guys. See Joe. There we go. Okay, yeah. Here's where we came back. Good night, all. Up early delivering in Madison, Wisconsin, noon tomorrow. Stay safe and God bless. Hey, man, have a good one. Be careful. We will see you later. Dennis, Holland Pause, Craig said that about a wave driver up at the top of the thread. Joe, yes, it is worth it. Ask yourself, what do you need to make per month? Every transporter is different. Yeah. What's your monthly budget? What do you need to have coming in every month? Find out how many miles you need to drive to make that happen, gross, and then subtract the relative, fuel, roughly 30, maybe 40% if it's really crazy high for fuel prices, plus maintenance, downtime, other things, and then just work through your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, find out what your budget is, and then just continue asking questions, and you'll hopefully be able to find your numbers, plug and play into your situation. Holland Paul says Daniel didn't pay his electric bill. Well, yeah, the Wi-Fi went out, so we are on the phone hotspot. Hopefully you're still hearing me here. Frank, best cab for tall guys is a mega cab. Telling you, yes, I would agree. So my buddy had a mega cab before it kind of blew up years ago, and he said he would just sprawl out on that whole thing. He had all the room in the world. Crazy. Joe, just need to make $2,000 or so a month. Wife pays the bills. That is what I need to make it worth it. Yeah, Joe, no problemo. $2,000 a month should be no problem at all, with a lot more probably extra spending money. Should not be a problem. Hold on, pause. Never mind. It's just my stupid phone. Oh. No, I think it was me, but yeah. It's not you, it's me. Nature Nut Photos. Thank you, Bandits. How much upper? When you do the how I sleep video, are you going to be wearing oh my word. Wow. And all God's people said, amen. Yes. Yes, I will be. Transport Bandits. Joe, that is so doable. We made $4,000 this week. Absolutely. Transport Bandits. Oops, that's gross. After expenses, yeah. About $2,900 this week to bank. Joe, really? Okay. So I guess I'll finish this Horizon packet. Just need the insurance. Any recommendations? I know I need $1 million for unladen, but what do you guys do for your truck? In my case, I've got 2 different types of commercial insurance for my dumpster rental business as well as RV transport. But as far as my insurance policy for the unladen, in the writing, and I asked many questions, it covers me the second I drop off a trailer empty until I pick up another trailer again. So maybe not all insurance companies' unladen policies cover you from empty to empty, after dropping off and before picking up. So you in your state, in your situation, you might need an additional personal policy. For me, I don't need that. So ask questions, find out. You guys got love to text or chat with someone who is willing, been researching this for a month or so and still have questions. Absolutely. I'll help if I can, if I have time, but there's a lot of other people here who know a lot of stuff. Ask away. Hold on, pause. I was not the wave driver that flipped over. I have been super lucky this whole week and have been have just been missing all of the bad weather and ice. Even today in Goshen, no ice, man. Craig, you guys got my allergies all kicked up talking about dogs and loss of dogs. They're definitely a blessing. Absolutely, Craig. Frank, do you know that in Canada it is illegal to sleep in a pickup truck? You have to carry a hotel receipt to be legal. Wow. Yeah. I might have heard that from somebody back in the day. Maybe it was you. But wow. That seems a little ridiculous. And intrusive and violating a lot of things, but I guess that's Canada. I don't know. Transport Bandits. Joe, I'm on Facebook. Cheryl Arnold, message me. We'll answer any questions you have. Give us a call. We'll chat. Yes. You guys, I'll just say this. Most of the time that I see productive conversations going on those Facebook groups, it's you. So you may be the only ones. I don't know. Franklin, in Canada, we are truly doing bandit. Am I saying that right? Bandity things. Oh man. Holland Pause says Canada equals the new Russia. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. I don't care for the for some of the shenanigans going on. Guys, it has been an hour and 40 minutes. It's been a wild live stream, kind of crazy. We've left and come back somehow with the Wi-Fi going nuts. I will hop off here shortly. There's freedom of speech as long as if I have anything to say about it, but YouTube might might think differently, I guess, for their opinion. But um, Joe, last question: if you were to build a truck, what would you build for a dream truck brand, size, and options? Man, I guess it would depend the type of situation I was in. If I'm going to be, non-CDL versus CDL, what would I run? If I'm non-CDL, I'm probably going to go long bed Ram 2500. I don't really care about the trim, not the bottom, whatever the bottom is. Don't go that. As far as the trim goes, definitely long bed so I can have the most amount of auxiliary fuel in the front, plus the fifth wheel, plus the toolbox in the back, the fifth wheel toolbox. I would go 2500 because the reasoning for that is at a 10,000 pound GVWR 2500, I've got the same engine, same transmission. It's the suspension that's going to be the difference, the major difference. And so non-CDL, that's 10,000 GVWR. I'm able to pull up to 16. Maybe your company has different ideas on that. But somebody literally with a 2500 could pull a heavier load than I could in my truck, in my Ram 3500 dually. That's probably where I would go. I do love this. I love the stability of a 3500 dually, having more traction with 6 tires. It is more expensive for fuel and wear and tear on the tires. It is safer, in my opinion, more stability. But as far as long-term ability to handle loads, I would go 2500 long bed for that. So that's my opinion for non-CDL. For CDL, I would probably go 3500 dually. It's not going to matter for the GVWR as far as that goes. Definitely long bed. If I'm going that route, that means I'm committed to that truck for the next 5 to 8 years. I mean, 100%. So, I would probably go for a higher trim package for that CDL truck. I know there's guys who don't run their trucks at night. They've got AC. They've got generators, AC, not compressors, AC window setups through the back window or side windows, things like that to not spend fuel and wear and tear on the engine and all the moving parts, and rather run gasoline generators in the bed for AC during the summer and stuff like that. So different options for that. I might go down that route just to have that kind of a thing, but that's what I would do for CDL. I am going to hop off here, guys. I'm going to quickly run through this real quick. I'm not going to click the button to show everything. Holland Paw says, I'm sorry that was uncalled for. I'm a bad person for saying that about Canada. You got no grief from me. Craig, it used to be illegal to sleep in a pickup in Indiana. Wow. That's eye-opening, and I wouldn't care in Indiana either. Blake, truth hurts. Frank, that is why I had to switch the CDL driver, as the fine can be so much money. Oh my word, you can be fined. Yeah, USA, Channing, is kind of where I'm at on that. Wow, Canada. Transport bandits on pause. I don't care. I haul to Russia for $2.06 a mile. I also understand that. Oh man, Joe. Thanks. Exactly what I was looking for. Very cool. Transport bandits, Joe. We can talk about the perfect truck for transporting. Holland pause. Every driver should know their exact numbers if they're running this like a business. 50% net should be the bare minimum, and that's without trying too hard to save money. Have my CDL permit. Got to borrow a trailer to take skills and bring I'm bringing a CDL holder. Gotcha. Transport Bandits, Joe, exactly what Daniel said. Only a Ford F-350. Oh, shots fired. Oh, my. I don't know if I can get on the Ford newer trucks, but we'll let it roll. Haul and pause, a big truck payments. We'll change that a little bit, but there is no reason that you shouldn't be above 60% net. Gotcha. All right. Well, guys, I was thinking, Doc. Oh, I'm gonna hop off here. It's been like hour 46. Appreciate you. I'm gonna go say hi to the wife and the dogs that are now sleeping. Got your finger in the nose. Okay. I'm gonna get off here. Have a good one, guys. Be safe out on the road. Please, please, please do not risk going nuts over the road. If you're in a dangerous position, it's not worth it. Please go to bed. Do what you got to do. Pull off. Do your taxes. I don't know. Do anything besides put yourself in a more dangerous situation. Care about you. Let's pray just for this next week. Driver safety going all over the place. Crazy storms. I'm going to pray real quick, and then we will hop off here. Father, we just thank you for this day. Thank you that we're able to have a wild live stream here. Despite losing the Wi-Fi, we just have a great time. I'm usually exhausted after this, but I just have a blast with all these folks on here, my friends, and just a good time to learn and grow and ask questions and just talk about a lot of stuff. We just grateful for this community, and it's really cool to be in a business where we get to do all these kind of crazy things, going all over the place and seeing things and doing things. And along with that comes the safety out on the road. We just want to pray for all the drivers, RV transport or transporters or not, out on the road with some of the wild weather going on this season, this time of year. Just please protect them, give them safety. Hopefully they get off the road as soon as possible when they get in hairy situations. And we just ask for safety across the whole board, everybody out on the road. We just are grateful for being able to live in this country where we still have many of our freedoms given to us. And we just are grateful for all that you do for us, how you love us, and your patience and grace with us. Thank you for your son dying on the cross for our sins, making that payment in our stead. And we can have a relationship with you. Tonight, going to church, just really being thoughtful of those things from the passages that we went through. But just again, grateful for everybody here. Bless them this week going forward. And we ask all these things in Christ's name. Amen. All right, guys. I'm gonna hop off here. Have a good one. Good night, all. Stay safe. Amen. Don't forget the like button. Hey, appreciate that. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe, and we will catch you next week.